Hi, this is Maji Noni, and here's my review for Battle of Terra. Now, the story in a nutshell is this. Planet Earth colonized Mars and Venus, and they all got into an intergalactic battle and they blew each other up. So, the survivors flew off into space looking for another world to live. They find one, and unfortunately, there's people living there, aliens that are already living there. And so instead of just coming down and saying, hey, we need some assistance, could we possibly carve out a little spot and live in, they decide to send troops down and try to basically terraform the world to, destroy everything and claim it for themselves. Now, to be fair, there are some of the human side that don't really want to go along with this, but military might makes right, so let's go forth and conquer, hoorah type attitude, then that's what leads us to where it goes. Now, there's a human pilot that crash lands, and a young alien girl comes across him. She nurses him back to health, and she helps him get back to the ship, so this way, and then on the other side, he promises her to help find her dad, who was captured by the Earth forces. Now, as you can imagine, the aliens that were captured weren't treated nicely, and eventually she escapes back down to her planet to find that her race, I guess you can say, was not quite as peaceful. They actually have weapons, and they've been developing the weapons to prepare, in case of an invasion or anything like that. So the military sends down this machine to terraform the planet, and it's basically, if that machine was the only thing that was keeping the human force alive out in space, but that actually was only going to be able to produce oxygen for another couple months. So, I can understand their point of, they have to do something pretty darn quick. Well, they send the thing down, and big battle ensues, and I guess you'll have to see the movie to see what happens after that. Now, I got this on Blu-ray, and I have to admit, the quality of the animation is really, really high. They did a really spectacular job with the way it looks, the way the expressions, in a sense, the world. Even though a lot of it is kind of covered in clouds, or you don't really get to see a lot, what they do show is actually an interesting environment that they're living in. They're very, I want to say, they're in harmony with nature in a way, and they celebrate life, or at least a large number of them celebrate life. Now, the Earth side, it's your typical standard square, rectangle-ish type bodies, and I don't think they put forth a lot of effort into designing that. But, to be fair, it's that's not what really needs to be made. Let's really put all forth our effort to the alien world to make that interesting. I thought the movie was, the ending was kind of predictable in a way. Was kind of surprised at a couple turns that the movie took, but overall it wasn't shocking or wow, look at that. I will say that I was kind of surprised at the amount of killing that was in the movie. Normally with a cartoon, you don't expect a lot of death, because the kids, are be traumatized if they see somebody die. And how they normally like to say, well, no, that wasn't a person he ejected, or it was a robot or something like that. In that case, that was not the case. You actually saw ships getting blown up and aliens dead type thing. So that was a surprise. To me, this was an average movie. It could go either way. I think some people are going to love it. I think some people are going to hate it. I know that kind of sounds like a cop-out type rating, but that's what it is. It wasn't a work of brilliance, and on the other hand, it wasn't a complete and utter sorry-ass excuse for a movie. There's a lot worse than this, believe me, but on the other hand, there's a lot that's better. So that's why I think that it's one of those types of movies where you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. Personally, I wouldn't buy it. This is definitely a rental. Or maybe if you were at Blockbuster and you saw it used and it was for sale or something like that, maybe that, especially if you were into animation, then it would be worth it that way. But I definitely wouldn't pay full price for it. This is definitely not going. This actually is going to go back to Netflix. Anyways, that's my review. It's a solid, average movie, entertaining, predictable, good battle at the end. So at the end, it paid off. Please leave some comments. Tell me what you think. If you like the movie, if you don't like it, say. And until next time.